Okay, it started. So when you go on to As You Learn, it should look like this. The welcome letter. I tried to email it, but it would not let you open it until the course opened, which was weird. So I forced the course to open. Syllabus is here. So when you click on it, depending on if you use Word or PDF, I have both. And then if it will not open, it will come up down here and you can force it to open. That goes with everything. So we meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 10:50, and it will use the link that we just used today. My name's Mrs. Frederick Jacobson, but you can call me Mrs. J. Has my cell phone number and my email address. And office hours are 11 to 11:50, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if you can't meet during those times, please text me or email me and we'll find another time if you need help. And then this talks about what we'll be covering, the book. The book looks like this. We will be doing, there's a few different ways of teaching this course, and this course is done through sustainability. So most of the problems will be about that. But you do not need to purchase the book. I'll show you that link in a minute. You already paid for your books through a library fee. There's 2 exams and a final, homework, projects. There'll be at least one major project or several shorter projects. And it talks about what we need to cover in the course, which you can read those. Attendance. Their attendance is important. It's hard to pass a class without going to class. But I do have a couple people who are taking this course asynchronously. And what that means is they're not going to come to class except for exams, and they're going to do everything online. That's up to you. I do put homework or attendance homework up there. So let me see if I can find it. If we click over here, notice it has important information, which gets you to your book, tutoring. This has the exam dates. We'll go to that in a second. But under attendance and homework, right here, I put a problem or 2 about what we covered that day. So if you're not here, you watch the videos, which are under Media Gallery from class that day, and then you click on here and you do the assignment. Today it's distance around the Earth, and the distance around the Earth is 24,901 miles, and you need to identify which part is the number part and which part is the unit part. So there's short little answers like that. But notice they're not due for 5 days. They're not due till Sunday night. So if you were busy or gone for the week, had something to do, and weekends are better for you, you watch the videos on the weekend, you do the assignments, they're due by Sunday night. So that's your attendance. If you can't make it, watch the video, but you want to keep up with the work. And that's why I have these problems. So I know you're still in class, you're still doing the work. If I'm not getting them turned in, then I'm going to be emailing you, or text if I have your number. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Will we get full attendance grades as long as we attach the videos? You will get full attendance grades as long as you answer the questions. You do not need to tap. Oh, it says watch. I thought it said attach. I had it too small. I need to make my text bigger. There we go. Yes, as long as you answer the questions and turn them in by Sunday night, you'll get full credit for attendance. Grades. It's the regular grading scale, but I do weight them. So projects are 30%, attendance and homework is 15%. The two exams are 30% and the finals 25%. I'll show you when the final is in a second. It's on a different link. Makeup work. Really, there isn't any makeup work. You just get the work done and turn it in on Sunday. If for some reason you cannot get it on Sunday, let me know ahead of time. Or as soon as you realize you can't get it done. I mean, if you waited till Sunday and something happened, let me know. It's going to be a couple days late, and that's fine. Because it's kind of online, you have till the last day of classes, which is December 12th. Oh, wait, December. I forgot to change it from last semester. It would be the last day of classes, which is in May. I haven't taught this class, at least at Appalachian before, and so I adjusted someone's policy to mine, but I didn't realize that date was in there. So this should be, I'll have to double check what day. I think it's May. I think it's the 11th, but I'm not positive. I'll have to look it up. So don't get behind, but if for some reason you had to put some stuff off and you need those points to pass, you still have time to get them in. Yeah, this, wait a minute. I hope I have the right. Yeah, it's the right syllabus, but for some reason this attendance is my attendance for my business calc. So I will adjust this. I know the 126 points is right. Oh, attendance was right. It was the homework I didn't change. Where'd it go? Yeah. We do not use my math lab. This is from my business calc for some reason. Oh, well, I'll adjust it later. But makeup work, I will allow you to make it up till the last day of classes, till the day of the final. We will use Desmos, and you could have a basic non-programmable calculator if you want, but even on a test you could use Desmos. It's fine. The goals, and you could read all these, but at the end it has a few questions just so I know you went through it, and I think 10 people have already turned it in, but just so I know, you know what my name is, how you can contact me, how you can get help, and do I take attendance. So you just want to answer those and attach them. You can attach them by taking a picture, You could handwrite them, you could type them, and you can scan them to upload them. Are there any questions so far?
No.
Okay. That's the syllabus. To get to the book, and we are uniformly across campus, you're supposed to name the book My Materials. So for all your courses, it should have My Materials. And you click on that, and the book should come up. Moving slow for some reason. There we go. And then you can read it. I'll use it a lot. Instead of writing all the problems out, a lot of them I might take from the book. Not sure why it's taking so long to open, but I don't think I have it open. Okay, there we go. Yeah. We'll cover the first 6 chapters. And then there's what's called these case studies. And I found that they kind of fall in between different sections. So we'll do some case studies. Some I'll just make up, but there are some. And the way I set it up, if you look at weekly schedule, my computer updated last night. Usually it's supposed to work faster, not slower. Okay. There we go. The first 3 weeks will cover chapter 1 and chapter 2. And then it says chapter 7. What that will be is a case study that goes with these 2 chapters. So this week we'll work on material that will help you do that. So it's kind of like a small project. And you also have the following week an exam over chapter 1 and 2. Then we do the same thing here, chapter 3 and 4, and the material from chapter 7 that goes with it, and your exam over 3 and 4. 5 and 6, the chapter 7, and then instead of another test, we just have your final. So that's how we will build it. Your final is Wednesday, May 10th from 8 to 10:30. And spring break is right here. Any questions on that? So right now there's a project that I assigned and it'll be due in 2 weeks. And then these chapter 7 ones is where you'll have a project. Now I'll probably put it up before that so you can start looking and thinking about it. But during the week of chapter 7 is when we'll discuss it. So you'll probably have 4 smaller projects instead of 1 big project. If a couple can be combined, then we could do just 1 on them, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Any questions? I read that already. What else? Oh, so that had the, go back in it. That had the days the exams will be so that you can plan ahead of time. The exams will be on Friday. So what we'll do is this week here, February 13th, we will review Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, exam on Friday. Same thing here, we'll review Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, exam on Friday. So the 19th. So Friday should be probably, I think it's February 17th here. 31st. and then your final May 10th. Any questions on that? So the Fridays of this week is the days the exams will be, except for final. That's Wednesday. When we do have an exam, you'll get on just like you are now. It'll say, well, it'll be the same link. I had 3 business calc classes last semester, so I just left it open for all 3 classes and they could come to any one. But this semester I have different classes. Tests are on different weeks. So we'll just use the classroom link for your exam, just like you did today. The only thing is you have to have your video on. Any questions so far? So during an exam, you'll come on the same link you did today. You'll have your video on. Instead of putting a nickname, put the name, your As You Learn name on there. Just so then I can check off who was actually in the class. I don't know everyone's faces since not everyone has their video showing the whole time, which is fine because for the most part, you're just looking at my screens and not everybody else's. So if you don't want your video on there, that's not a problem. But during an exam, all videos must be on. The voice will be muted. And if you have questions, you'll send them through the text. That way, then everyone can see them and everyone will see the answer or whatever I can answer about it. Chapter 7 is not that it's big, it's that they're case studies or kind of like mini projects to understand the material more. And so it kind of goes through all 6 chapters. So I broke it into parts. That way, then you can make sure you understand the material, get all your homework done from the first 2 chapters or your projects. So they kind of, I just broke it up that way. Rather than having all of them at the end, then you can have little small projects broken up through the semester. So it's just a case study chapter. I read through a part of it and I'm really liking the book. I teach a quantitative research class at Youngstown State because I live in Ohio, so I'm kind of far away. But I teach a class at Youngstown State and I've been using a lot of problems from this book and bringing them into that class because I really like this book. So I think it should be a good class. There is also, oops, didn't share. There is also an assignment for this week that's to introduce yourself. My share button, there it is. Under your weekly checklist, which will be here. So each week you'll have this link for the next week, each one. And when you click on it, it will give you what you need to do. And there's a Word or a PDF. I had a few students tell me who couldn't open the Word documents, but the PDF worked fine. So that's why I added that. It'll tell you what we'll cover. We're going to cover the first couple sections of chapter 1 this week. We'll record it. If you can't come to class, it's under Media Gallery. And then it tells you what needs to be done this week. Your first assignment is to meet with me during office hours and introduce yourself. Now, if we have time at the end of class, if you want to turn your camera on, if it's not, and introduce yourself, then that's fine. The biggest thing is I want to make sure that during the exam, I can see you and that part works. If you're going to my office hours, the link is the office hour link. It's right above the one that you came to today. If you can't meet at that time and you can't stay on today, then text me. I had a few people FaceTime me last night and we did it. So that's fine. Don't just FaceTime though. Send a text. Do you have time to FaceTime now? And then just to make sure I'm not in the middle of something. So that's one assignment that's due. I think I don't remember what day I put. It's not on here, but try and get it done by Sunday. I usually give 2 weeks on that, simply because some students may not add till the end of the week. Read the syllabus and answer the questions, the attendance, homework problems, and a project. So this will tell you, and it will be up every Monday. So you go on every Monday and look at it, and it'll tell you what you need to do. And it has my email and my phone number. Any questions? Also on here, I don't remember where I put it. What is recommended by a student or what I expect. It's on here somewhere. But anyways, what I expect is you should check your emails twice a day, every morning and every night. And that goes for all your classes, because you never know if something's going to change. A teacher can't make a time, they cancel class. You should check your emails every morning and every night. And then the as you learn, you should check this weekly checklist every single Monday. Open it up, see what you have to do. I believe there's a calendar too, but it even puts upcoming events right here. And when they're due, here's the attendance and the project and the syllabus. You can also go to calendar. Now the meeting one is not here because I enter it. It's not something you submit. But there's a calendar, and I think it breaks up too. Yeah. It shows you when, and I believe it will bring all your classes together if you do it in the regular dashboard. So there's a lot of ways to find out what's due and make sure you don't get behind. If you do need tutoring, other than, you can always meet with me. They do have tutoring hours. They start January 22nd, so Sunday. In person, Sunday through Thursday from 5 to 8, Daughtry room 208. Or you can do Zoom Sunday through Thursday, 8 to 10. And here's the link. You just click on the link and go in. If you want private tutoring, they do have that for some courses also. And you can click the website to get more information. But that is under tutoring. Any questions? Weekly checklist, attendance problems, project. So for the project, you need to humanize something. And what that means is, if you have an item that's really large, I'll bring up this example was done in 10 minutes, so I expect yours to be better than this. But you want to make a PowerPoint. Maybe it'll open. There we go. And what you're going to do is take a large item. This is Hyperion. It's the world's tallest tree. And if we talk about how tall it is, wait, where did I put how tall it is? It's almost 116 meters tall. But when you talk about 116 meters, it's hard to visualize how tall that actually is. So you want to humanize it. Lots of ways you can do that. You want to try and do it by getting a value that's between 0.01 and 1,000. But something interesting about this largest tree, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's in California, but they blocked off the area. You're not allowed to go and see it because people were damaging the soil and the roots. So if you do get caught, 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. So something interesting about your attraction. When you do give the measurements, I just did meters and feet, but you also want to give inches and centimeters. And there's a rubric. I'll show you in a minute. Now to humanize it, it is taller than the Statue of Liberty. 74 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. So that kind of helps you visualize how tall that tree really is. Looking at it in the picture also shows you it's so much higher than all the other trees around it. So this was one humanization. Now, when we get further in, I could have said how much the percentage that it's taller. That would also work, but I just subtracted. It's 74 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, which helps visualize. You can also visualize it in animals. It would take 152 panda bears to get to the top of the tree. Chose panda bears because they're my favorite. And then I chose pickles. It would take 760 pickles to get to the top of the tree. That's a lot of pickles. I chose pickles because my kids don't like pickles. So when I ask them what they want to eat and they say, I don't know, I say, fine, we'll have pickles. So we use pickles a lot. An interesting fact, Hyperion is named after the Greek Titan of light. His parents were the god of sun and the goddess of the moon. And this is an image of him. And then you'll have a works cited wherever you get your information from. Just put a link in case someone's interested and wants to know more about it. So you're going to have a short project like that. It's due in 2 weeks. But this link is the example. So the main post is due Friday, January 27th, and then you respond to at least 3 other students. So instead of having you present them in class, you'll just make the slideshow and then you'll look at least 3 people's and respond to them, just so you can compare them. And they did a lot of work. I want you to be able to see them. But I don't want to take all that time in class. Plus, I also have students who are just online, so that would kind of leave them out. So those projects that we're going to have will all be on discussion boards. For the assignment, you either open the Word document or the PDF. You want to create a PowerPoint and attach it to the discussion board. Using the tourist attraction that you have chosen, well, instead of choosing it because we didn't go in class, I chose them for everybody, and I'll show you that link. But you want to start with your attraction and a paragraph about it, including its height in meters, feet, inches, and centimeters. Choose an animal to humanize the height, kind of like I did the panda bears. Choose a food to humanize it, and then a third item of your choice. I used the Statue of Liberty. End with a works cited page. Once you've posted, make sure to respond at least 3 others with a meaningful response. Most of all, have fun and be creative. That's 5 of the 35 points. Any questions on that? Okay. The attractions you'll be using are here on this link. Each one has a different one, so start out your link with something catchy so that students want to look at yours. But the names are alphabetical, and then the attraction is here. So like we have the largest totem pole, the Great Pyramid. This atmosphere, it is a restaurant. Right now it closed because of COVID. They're talking about reopening, but it sits up in the clouds. And then this ozone is a bar, and you're actually in the ozone layer. So there's some really interesting ones. The highest Ferris wheels, the highest fall, but all of the Statue of Liberty, the largest totem pole. So I found a lot of different tall items that people go and see, and some of them are really interesting. If your name is not here because you added, I printed this morning, but depending on if you added, it might not be here. So if it's not, just send me an email and I'll find another one and I'll let you know. Any questions? My other class, one person had a question, whoever has the atmosphere, if you're here. It is up to you if you want to use the top of the building or the top of the restaurant. The restaurant is on the top floor. But either way, because you're going to find a little bit different measurement, you can choose either part. And if that happens on it, shouldn't on any of the other ones, maybe the bar. But that's up to you. Those are the two tallest structures in the world. And then this hotel in Dubai is very tall too. Okay. Any questions on that? So you would just add your topic. You will not be able to see other students' projects until you enter yours. At least that's what it told me it was going to do. Hopefully. Any questions? So the project, the main post is due January 27th. So you still have a lot of time on that. Any questions? Outlines are here. And then exams will be here. So when you get on the day of the exam, I will give you the password, and then you'll click on the in-person exam, which will be right here, to take your test. That's correct. You're just humanizing the buildings. I think I closed it. That's a good question. It's supposed to be the tall, if you have one of the bridges, they're supposed to be the tallest bridges in the world. But you could go either way. It's up to you. I had typed in tallest bridges in the world. So kind of look at both ways and decide which way you want to do it. If your item is something, because a bridge would be, it might be longer than it is taller. And that's fine. The biggest thing is I want something that's long or tall, and I want you to humanize it. Humanizing could also be inches, meters, centimeters. Like if you have something that's, well, this one, I think I put, it's 380 feet. Well, maybe I think that's too big, but changing it to meters could humanize it. So it doesn't always have to be an animal, a food, a person. It can be just moving from inches to meters. If we took a football field and changed it to inches, it's a lot better measurement in yards. And so by putting it in yards, you're humanizing it. So humanization can be measurements. It's just that some measurements are too big and we need to find a way to look at it in smaller units, which sometimes is animals. Pickles is probably not a good choice because they're so small. Maybe corn stalks, so many corn stalks on top of each other may have been better. But yes, so the couple that have the bridges, if you want to do length, if it's longer, it's up to you. Whichever one sounds more interesting to you. But yeah, you just need, just like I did here, except, I mean, make it look a little nicer. I just copy and pasted and threw it on. I didn't use, like, there was a nice background I liked, but it wasn't cooperating with me. And I didn't have a lot of time. So I just used plain, but I've had students who've used really cool outlines that go with their topic. More pictures, spread out nicer. Like this one here, I should have definitely had something else. Here. And that's those 5 points for being creative. Any questions? It is up to you how many slides you want. I would think you need at least, like, your main post that has the measurements and stuff, that could, these first 3 could be 1, or 4 even, maybe. But then these 3 you would want separate. Your item of choice, your animal, and your food. And then your works cited. So I would say you probably need at least 5 slides. As long as you have all your material, I'm not counting slides. But to do it nice, you probably need at least 5. Your main post, your main one with the lengths in feet, height for everything, this one. So you need this, your 3 items, and your interesting fact. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your works cited. I would say it would take at least 6. If you want to break it out more, that's fine. As long as you have all your material neat and organized and you use less, that's up to you. But these 3 should be separate, plus your interesting fact and your measurement. Yeah, I don't see going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, less than 6. So I would think you need 6, but that's up to you. I didn't put a measurement or a count on that. So as long as everything is there, neat, organized, and creative, then you're going to get all the points. Any questions? And I'm sure the more we cover material, the more questions you'll have. Text me, email me, or ask in class. Any questions? Okay. Did I answer everyone's questions? I think I did. We only have about 8 minutes left. I'll just bring this up real quick. So the outlines will be here. Those are both the same. It's just one's a Word document and one's a PDF. And we talked a little bit about this already. Measurement has both a number part and a unit part, but we human beings are not always able to grasp the significance of very large or very small numbers. And so when we're looking at it, you want to make sure that problems have a number part and a unit part. When you're writing a story, or say you're 1,000 panda bears it takes to get to the top of a building. If you just say 1,000 to get there, we don't know what you're talking about. And that's why it has to have that unit with it, whether it's an animal, a food, or a measurement like this one. A fuel tank for a car takes 13 gallons. If gallons isn't there, I mean, usually for your gas tank, you talk about gallons because that's the best measurement for it. It's the most humanized measurement. But we could have how many teaspoons. I think I wrote it in here. I think your book said it, how many teaspoons it is. Here, wait, let's see. Alexa, how many teaspoons is in a gallon?
1 gallon is 768 teaspoons.
So if 1 gallon it's not letting me write. So if 1 gallon is 1,600 teaspoons, and the gas tank, I think it's at 13 gallons. So instead of putting 13 gallons into the gas tank, if we said 20,800 teaspoons, that would be hard to visualize. It would seem like a lot, but teaspoons are small, so I'm not sure. But making it the 13 gallons is humanizing it. So for humanizing a problem, you want to try and get a value between 1/100th or 0.01 and 1,000, if possible. Now, sometimes you can't always get it in between that, but that's the best way to try and explain them, is to have smaller values, and 13 gallons is a good one. So in this problem, when you don't have units, they're meaningless because we don't know what that 13 is standing for. A gas tank we can kind of assume, but not necessarily. The radius of the earth is 4,000 miles. So 4,000 is the number, miles is the unit. At full takeoff power, a Boeing 747 burns over 300 gallons of jet fuel per second. If we look at that one, notice that 3 is our number. Our unit is gallons per second. That's a rate. And so we have 2 measurements together. Any questions so far? We say that a measurement is in human terms if it's expressed in a way that allows us to relate it directly to our shared everyday experience without requiring specialized scientific knowledge. And so the 13 gallons is more understandable than saying 20,800 teaspoons, and that's humanizing it. We will stop there because there's only a few minutes left. And because the next one we're changing measurements, which will help with your project. But we'll do that next class. I just wanted to cover this part because it's with the homework assignment that's today. So I was going to make homework problems. I was going to make homework problems along with the attendance problems and the project. And I thought, no, instead we'll have the projects. I want you to do really well on the projects. They're short little attendance problems. And then the problems I would give for homework, I'm going to put them up there, and that's what we're going to study for our exam, but they won't be graded. Because I don't want to do too much, and I'm more concerned about the project, making sure you do it well and discussing things in class. So the other problems I was going to get of actual homework problems, so those will just be what we'll use to study for the exam. They won't be graded. So there's only your attendance homework that will be graded along with the projects. Any questions on that? Okay. You do not have any questions. I will see you tomorrow.